Let me check this number. Hey guys, my name is Christina. I lost 28.6 pounds over the last month, the month of January 2020. And so I just want to share with you guys how I did it. So if you're interested in that, keep watching. First of all, I will say that all of my advice is just based on my personal experience. I'm not a fasting expert. I'm not a nutritionist. I have no credentials to be advising anyone to do anything. I'm just sharing my personal experience. And if it's something that you're interested in trying, I definitely recommend doing your own research. How I lost the weight was a combination of fasting, and there is a lot of expert advice on the internet about fasting, so you can easily find that information if you just Google it. There's a lot of health benefits. There are a lot of doctors who've done studies, such as Dr. Jason Fung. He's one of probably the most famous currently about fasting. There's a couple of other doctors that I can't think of their names at the moment, but yeah, you'll find them pretty easily if you go on YouTube or even Google as far as looking into the science and the medical research behind fasting. So back in October, I actually started doing intermittent fasting, and years ago I had done intermittent fasting, which if you guys are not familiar with intermittent fasting, it's just a period of fasting and then a window of eating. So the most common way to do intermittent fasting is 16 hours fasted and then an 8-hour eating window. So with that, you count the time that you're sleeping. So if you stop eating at 8 p.m. every night, then you wouldn't eat again until the next day at 12 p.m. You can make it whatever hours you want. You could do, you know, your eating window is 2 to 10 every day, whatever it is. But there's all different forms. You can do 12-12, which is 12 hours of fasting, 12 hours of eating. There's alternate day where you only eat every other day, all the different things. And when I would do 16-8, and then I would do up to 18 or 20-hour fast with a 6-hour or a 4-hour eating window. And I was usually losing about 1 pound to 1.5 pounds doing that every single week. And with my daughter, I was actually breastfeeding, and so that's why I didn't want to do more extended or longer fasts very much, because I was trying to protect my milk supply. And there are all different types of recommendations out there for whether or not you can fast while you are breastfeeding. For me, the 16-8 up to 20 hours was fine for me while I was breastfeeding, but I didn't want to do more extended fast because I had a lot of trouble just on a normal basis anytime I would cut calories or cut carbs of my milk supply tanking. And the reason I knew what my milk supply was is because I was an exclusive pumper. I discovered that with regular intermittent fasting, I had tried it years ago and it didn't really work for me. But the difference was I was putting a little bit of cream or a little bit of cream and a tiny bit of sugar in my coffee in years past when I tried it. And some people say you can do 50 to 100 calories and not break your fast, which I think is technically called a dirty fast or something, but some people do it, it works for them. For me, intermittent fasting didn't really work for me when I was doing that. When I went to straight black coffee and water, that's when I actually started seeing the results. And I discovered that I could kind of eat whatever I wanted on the weekends, kind of go off the rails a little on the weekend, and as long as I ate healthfully throughout the week and I was doing the intermittent fasting, then I would lose 1 to 1.5 pounds per week. And I was very happy with that. I weaned my daughter around Christmas time, and I decided come the new year I wanted to do something that was a lot more regimented, or do something that would get the weight off a little faster, because at the time I had 90 something pounds to lose. I'll put it on the screen for you guys here. But yeah, at the time I was okay, starting the new year, I need to get this weight off quicker, and that's why I decided to look into other methods. I started researching, and I discovered this guy called Cole Robinson and the snake diet. Every comment section of every YouTube about intermittent fasting was talking about this guy, Cole Robinson. And if you've never watched his channel, just to warn you guys, he is it's constant profanity. It's constantly the F word, but at the same time, he kind of cracks me up. Watching his videos makes me laugh. He screams at everybody and calls them fatty and all this stuff, but he actually has a lot of good information in his videos. And he talks about drinking this salt water. It has a whole different mixture. He has a bunch of different recipes depending on your goals and what you're trying to do and how long you're fasting, and extended fasting. So he used to give advice to people to go 30 days or however long they could go and just drink this snake juice to replenish their electrolyte while they're fasting. So the snake juice, I'll tell you guys, is disgusting. I drank it 3 separate days, and then I did not drink it anymore. So what I'm doing, even though I started out at the snake diet and I got a lot of my principles and ideas of how to fast from the snake diet, I'm not truly doing the snake diet basically because I'm not having the snake juice that you're supposed to be drinking. And when I fast, I do a clean fast. So it's only water, black coffee with nothing added to it, and then black tea. So really any kind of tea. Typically with my tea, I keep it decaf. So the first 2 weeks of this, I did give up coffee and caffeine, and I was strictly doing just water. But then after the first 2 weeks, I did add back in my coffee. So if you do give up caffeine, of course you will have headache withdrawals, and I did go through those pretty bad for the first day, and then I had a couple of days of just dull headaches, and then it got better after that. For the entire month of January, I would do a 72-hour fast. I would eat one meal, and I had my meals set up to where it was whatever I want. Some people do low carb, some people do keto, people like have like their whole plan. Some people keep it very, very low calorie and low carb. Some people do carnivore, which is only eating meat, nothing else. There's lots of different ways to do it, but for me, I just had one meal, whatever I had cooked for my family, that's what I ate. I was just very cautious not to overeat. So I stopped eating as soon as I was satisfied. I never stuffed myself. So I would fast from Saturday night to Tuesday night. Tuesday night I would eat dinner, and then I would fast again until Friday night. So I would immediately after that one meal roll into another 72-hour fast, which would take me to Friday night. Friday night I would eat with my family, and then I would actually do a 20-hour fast, and I would eat again on Saturday afternoon. So I wanted to try that out. With the snake diet, you're never supposed to eat 2 days in a row, but I wanted to try my own plan because the hardest part, I think for most people, and for me as well on a diet is, or a new lifestyle change, whatever you want to call it. You know, diet just means how you eat, your pattern of eating, what you eat. It's not really, we think of diet as like, oh, restriction, but really anything. If you're a vegan, you're on a vegan diet, even if you're not trying to lose weight. So just to clarify that, when I say diet, it's just whatever you eat. I keep getting off on so many different tangents. I'm trying to like stay focused with you guys. There's so much information. And definitely if you have any questions for me, please leave them in the comments below. I'd love to answer any questions you guys have about intermittent fasting, about the snake diet, anything like that. But I would have that one meal, and so then on Saturday I would eat again. And that worked for me great the entire month of January. I had a few random days where I switched it up and fasted a little longer, or I would do like a 48-hour fast, or like, you know, something like that, so that I could eat for a certain event. I just made sure that I wasn't eating anymore. So that's what I did, you guys. It's so simple. I just fasted with nothing but water and black coffee after the first 2 weeks, and then decaf tea. I guess it doesn't really matter. As long as there's nothing in your tea, it doesn't matter if it has caffeine or not, but I was trying to limit the amount of caffeine that I was drinking, and for me, having like a cup of something warm in the afternoon really helped me a lot. Honestly, if you've ever tried intermittent fasting and you've had a difficult time, I will tell you guys, the first 20 to 24 hours is typically the hardest for most people. That's when you feel the most hunger and all of that. So if 20-hour fasting is hard for you, don't like just assume that a 48-hour fast or a 72-hour fast is going to be like 2 to 3 times harder, because that's not necessarily the case. I did only experience feeling sick and lightheaded 2 different times, and what I would do is I would take some pink Himalayan sea salt and I'd put that on my tongue. So I used that to replenish my electrolytes. I had a few muscle cramps over the month, and I just took some Epsom salt baths for that. So definitely want to pay attention to your symptoms in your body. Make sure you are replenishing your electrolytes if you need to, and that you're drinking enough water. You don't have to go overboard with water. For me, I felt like I have a cotton mouth. I'm still on the plan, so I feel like I have a cotton mouth all the time. I will also say that I started this journey at 5'4", 227 pounds, and I got down to 199.4 all in the month of January, from January 1st through the 30th. The 31st, I actually was an eaten day for me, and that's why I didn't lose any more weight, but I probably would have been down the full 30 pounds had I not eaten on the 31st. I'm pretty excited with my results so far. What I'm gonna change for February, my second month, at the beginning of this month, I have kind of had a stall, and I think that the 2 back-to-back days are actually hurting my progress. So I'm going into rolling 72s, which means that I would just do 72-hour fast, eat one meal, 72-hour fast, eat one meal, like over and over and over every week. I won't have that 20-hour fast between, you know, the 72-hour fast. It'll just be, that's what they call in the snake diet world, rolling 72s. So along with the rolling 72-hour fast in February, I actually also have started working out for February. So in January, I I did not do any workouts. If this is something that you're interested in, the 72 hours just seems like something that is just way beyond the scope of even wanting to try. A lot of people they'll start with 24s or even 16 or even 12 hours. You know, just start small if you feel you need to and work yourself up to going longer. Cole Robertson from the Snake Diet recommends doing rolling 42-hour fast, which is basically like alternate day fasting. The only difference is on your eating day, you don't eat all day long, you just eat one meal. That's kind of the main difference between like traditional alternate day fasting and then like the Snake Diet, you know, 48-hour fast. You're just eating one meal and then you're going straight into another fast. If you have any questions, I'd love to answer them. Leave them in the comments below. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. And if you're interested in following along with my journey, please go ahead and subscribe. I have about 60-something pounds left to go. I am down a few more pounds in February, but my goal weight is 130. So I'm really hoping that I can continue to lose 20 to 25 pounds a month and get down to my goal weight within like 3 or 4 more months. But if not, I should definitely reach my goal weight within 6 months. So I hope you guys will follow along, and when you subscribe, click the little notification bell so that you'll make sure YouTube lets you know every time I post a new video. And thank you guys again for watching. I'll catch you all in the next one. Kind of my goal in life, you guys, is to be able to eat very healthy during the week and then on the weekends kind of just not have to worry about it. You know, like I want to be able to go to parties and eat what they have. If I want a piece of cake at the birthday party, eat that and not have to worry about gaining weight all the time. And so I feel like with intermittent fasting, everything I've learned so far, that's something I'll definitely be able to do.